Hey babes, welcome and welcome back to my channel. This Acotar book, it is so beautiful. This is the best book I've read since 2023, or since I started reading, dare I say. I just love this book so much. Like, every time I think about it, I just go back to, reminiscing and just like all the actions that happen in this book. I'm so in love with this book. I can't get enough of it. I would not get enough of it. I'm literally in a book slum right now because I really do not want to mess up my imagination, like mess up the world I've built in my head. Like, I really do not want to let any other character in. But recently I've been reading this other book called Acha's Voice, and I'm going to do a recap on it in my 2023 recap of books. Okay, but that's not the point. We are here for Acotar. I'll try as much as possible to not put spoilers in this video because I want everybody to experience this book for the first time and actually go along with the characters and actually explore them on their own without any spoilers or without any formal knowledge of them. Do you understand? This is a series. The Acotar is a series. So Acotar is a cut of thorns and roses. That's actually the full meaning of the book. But us fans in the Sarah J. Maas universe, we call it Acotar. So we have A Cut of Thorns and Roses, which is the first book, A Cut of Mist and Fury, which is the second book, A Cut of Wings and Ruin, which is the third book. Then we have kind of like, we call it like a Christmas episode, which is A Cut of Frost and Starlight. And then we have another book, A Cut of Silver Flames. Okay, I want to rate this book according to how I enjoyed it. And funny how my rating of this book will be according to how the book is. My least favorite, I won't say it's my least favorite, but like the book goes on, I enjoyed it more. So my first least favorite is actually A Cut of Thorns and Roses, because that's where we're introduced to the characters. So like, something really significant happened in that book that sets the motion for the other book, obviously. But that is kind of like my least favorite because I liked other books more. Why am I over explaining myself? But you get the gist. I'm going to read the synopsis for you guys so that you guys can have a gist of what this book is about. The overall main character is Fira. She was once a mortal human being and then she turned into a fairy as the book goes on. So she's the main character in this book. And then for this book, A Cut of Thorns and Roses, we have Fira, Tamlin, Lucien, her sisters Nesta and Elaine, but they're not really main characters until the story progresses. Do you understand? And we have Rhysand and Amarantha. But Rhysand and Amarantha come later on in A Cut of Thorns and Roses, like the last quarter of the book. That's when we actually see more of Rhysand and Amarantha. Okay, so the synopsis of A Cut of Thorns and Roses is Fira's survival rests upon her ability to hunt and kill. The forest where she lives is a cold, bleak place in the long winter months. So when she spots a deer in the forest being pursued by a wolf, she cannot resist fighting for the flesh. But to do so, she must kill the predator, and killing something so precious comes at a price. Dragged to a magical kingdom for the murder of a fairy, Fira discovers that her captor, his face obscured by a jeweled mask, is hiding far more than his piercing green eyes would suggest. Fira's presence in the court is closely guarded, and as she begins to learn why, her feelings for him turn from hostility to passion, and the fairylands become an even more dangerous place. Fira must fight to break an ancient curse or she will lose him forever. So this book is kind of like enemies to lovers, but it's also a reenactment of Beauty and the Beast kind of book. That's all I'll say about this book, because if I should say anything further, I'm going to spoil this book for you. Okay, so if you really liked Beauty and the Beast and like you have to fall in love with him in his beastly form or something like that, then maybe you would like this book. Okay, so yeah, that is actually my least favorite. So we're going to A Cut of Mist and Fury. So now I won't read the synopsis of A Court of Mist and Fury because there are some details from A Court of Thorns and Roses that if you have read, you will understand in the synopsis of A Court of Mist and Fury. So I won't read that one for you. But just know that this book is more of like a romance book rather than the fairy and the fantasy. They're like some fantasy. How do I explain this without spoiling it for you guys? But just know that A Court of Mist and Fury and A Court of Wings and Ruin, A Court of Wings and Ruin is kind of like a war kind of book. Do you understand? The war is explained in so much beautiful details that if you picture it in your head, is like it's a beautiful phenomenon, and like you would enjoy it. You will definitely enjoy it. Okay, so the thing is that every time I want to rate A Court of Mist and Fury and A Court of Wings and Ruin, they just switch places for me. So I would say both of them are in second place, and A Court of Thorns and Roses for me is third place. Now, A Court of Frost and Starlight, I won't rate it because it's just like a Christmas episode of all the characters who have met through A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, and A Court of Wings and Ruin. Okay, so is the book happens mostly in Feyre's POV, but in A Court of Frost and Starlight, we see other people's POV and we see what is happening in their lives. Now, A Court of Silver Flames. I'm not sure I will ever shut up about this book. It is so beautiful. It is based on Feyre's sister Nesta. That's the only thing I'll tell you. It's based on Feyre's sister Nesta, and yeah, there's just so much happening with Nesta in this book. It follows like a healing journey. Like Nesta was in a bad place. That's what I'll say. I'm trying so hard not to spoil this for you guys, but Nesta was in a bad place after A Court of Wings and Ruin, because I told you there was a war. Just know that there was a war. So Nessa was kind of in a bad place after A Court of Wings and Ruin, and she was just like deteriorating. But this book follows her healing process, her love, her the romance side with another main character. Oh, it's just the character that she's in love with is Kissian, but she doesn't know she's in love with him yet. Like, she fights it. That is literally just like a friends with benefit kind of situation, and they're kind of like enemies to lovers, but like they became friends at one point. How do I explain this thing without spoiling? That is the book. That is the book review. I really love Nesta's story because it kind of resonated with me. That book, A Court of Silver Flames, it felt like Sarah J. Maas was writing in her journal about some of her life, because she also said it in her acknowledgement at the end of the book that some of the pieces of Nesta's story is from her own experience. Do you understand? So that book felt so cozy, felt so comforting. It felt like if you're ever stuck, if you're ever like going through anything, just know that you're going to overcome it all. It's kind of like a healing book. Like, it sees and hears all your deepest and darkest fears, and it makes you know that you are not alone. It makes you know that there's so much hope for improvement, and like you're always going to come out the champion. That's just all I can say about that book. It's just a very beautiful book to read. So, first position, A Court of Silver Flame. Second position, a tie between A Court of Mist and Fury and A Court of Wings and Ruin. And third position is A Court of Thorns and Roses. Okay, so if you want to read that book, please grab your copy and actually read it, and let me see your ratings. Okay, if you guys want me to do a deeper version of this rating and like actually talk about the books and talk about like my favorite moments, if you don't mind the spoilers, then yeah, I will actually do it for you guys, because I have a lot of things to talk about. Like, it's itching me to like say some events that happened, but I can't say because I also want people to read it. So like, the fans of the book, if you've seen this video and you want us to discuss more on it, then I can actually make a video for that and like tell you all my reasons why I rank those books. I can actually talk about A Cut of Silver Flames from now till tomorrow. If I start with that book, I won't finish at all, and that's just like anyways, yeah, this is the end of this video. I just came to, campaign for Sarah J Maas and like let you know that she's a very good author. Her style of writing is beautiful. Everything that she has written about Puritan. Did I tell you Puritan is the name of the fairy kingdom? Yeah. So everything she has written about Puritan is always remain with me till the end of the time. It's always everything she has written about Puritan will always remain with me till the end of time, because like I'm not sure I can ever leave that book. I'm going to marinate. I'm going to leave these books, Acotar. I'm going to leave for a few years, and then I'm going to go back and read it again when I've forgotten almost everything that happened. That's what I'm going to do. So yeah, I also want to read Throne of Glass, but the series is so long, and this December I know I would not have time for that, so I'm going to skip that and I'm going to read it January. And if you want a review on that, even if you don't, I'm going to do a review on it. Most definitely I'm going to read the books, like my least favorite to my most favorite. So I'm going to read it and we're going to have a discussion. Okay, so right now I told you I'm reading Archer's Voice. I've been procrastinating reading that book just because I have so much sentiments towards Acotar. I don't know how to do it, but I just actually need to read one more book till before this year ends. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. What book are you reading recently, and what was your favorite book this year? Let me know in the comments. So like, share, subscribe. I love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.